Welcome back to the pack, guys. Today is, what was it? We got week 39 of Arena coming up on us here. We just finished out week 39, so welcome to the Arena Watch podcast. We got Celery, and myself, of course. How'd you guys do this week? Let me let everyone know we're live.
Yeah, we can't really hold a candle to you, but we did our best this week.
Yeah,
Did as well as we could.
how'd you guys manage? I mean, how that bait strat go for you? I couldn't pull it off myself. I don't have enough of the slow caster units. I mean, if I had Baramos, then I might have gone for it. But
It actually, obviously it worked every time I used it. I think I used it twice.
But you didn't use it every time. Is there a reason for that? Could you not have used it every time, or you just chose not to?
I tried to only use it if I felt
Hold on,
like
it doesn't look like we're live yet. I don't see us up yet. Hold on. Let me go to my channel.
I'm hearing us.
Oh, you're hearing us. Okay, it just wasn't
on
popping up
the YouTube.
Okay, perfect. All right, go for it.
So yeah, the reason I only used it sparingly was that I tried to mainly stick with the blitz AOE strategy that I'm comfortable with. I use every week, but there were occasional matchups. Specifically, I don't remember, but I think both the times I used the bait strat, one of the enemy units was Marquis de Leon. And the bait strat, because I had Nocturnus, was really good against Marquis, because you could one-shot Marquis turn one with Nocturnus going after him, and then Nocturnus could go before most of the enemy team your second turn. And I think, I don't remember if I might have used it a third time where I was up against a Max Awakened Great Dragon, and I actually put like a ton of agility stuff on Nocturnus so that he could go before the Max Awake Great Dragon on turn 2. But yeah, basically the bait strategy, it relied on the enemy not having any buff type attacks or buffs, because you really wanted them all to move forward. If they just moved over to the side, which actually did happen on one of my bait strats, there was a Kiefer, and the Kiefer ran over to the side and buffed. And that almost got me a 1-2-4 because he wasn't as far up forward as I was expecting.
What if you had a very fast Percival? Would that have made a difference? I mean, against him, you wouldn't need it to be that fast. But you know what I mean.
So,
like, could you have yoinked him? You know what I mean?
I don't remember if I could have. This wasn't a good map for yoinking because you had
two blocks, and it's like the yoink is linear, so you can't really get it on like a Zamel kind of angle. You can't get it on and out.
So you could only yoink if they were in either of the two back spots, back middle, or the spots right in front of those. You couldn't yank any of those.
But imagine if you had moved that far up. I think at that point he would have chose to at least attack you. You could yoink someone else, kill them, and then you could at the very least, you could attack him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
that would work.
Like if you had Sorrow, like my Sorrow, obviously my Sorrow is pretty fast with his claw and whatnot. which was interesting because you didn't have the sorrow in that equation, and I didn't have the slow caster or alternative, like a Dragon Lord true form or
Yes.
something.
Yeah, my bait team was triple is exactly what I predicted actually, because I knew I didn't have anything else. But it was Nocturnus leader, and then Dragon Lord true form with a flail, so that he could either breath or spin.
Mm-hmm.
And then Malroth with the Sword of Ruin to make him slow. And
What's up,
also give him
Knock?
a
We
bunch
got
of
Knock in the
HP.
chat.
And then Claria, who was fast, but usually could still hit something turn one. Sometimes she passed turn one. And then Ghost was my fifth, because
We got
that's all I had left
Joshua.
after the triple boss. Hey Josh, can you, if you have Discord, can you type your username
I think it's
in
just
chat?
Joshua his whole name. No.
Oh yeah,
Oh, his
for
whole
the
name?
guild.
Yeah, for the guild. I didn't have his Discord name to invite him for the guild Discord.
That'd be good, yeah, because he's a good arena player, loyal viewer. Wait, who's the Ben Vigello? Is that Meta Blood?
Bem, yeah, I think that's Meta Blood. Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's already on Marcos's team, right?
I have no clue. Yeah, Tengetsu. Yeah, okay. I had messaged Tengetsu one time. Yeah. Yeah, I got him. I'll send the invite. That's a permanent link, yeah? The one that we had in the thing on the private messages.
I think so. I don't know what it is by default.
By default, it
It's
expires in 7
it's like
days.
7 days.
The ones I sent out were all permanent links.
Okay, 7 days is still a while though.
Yeah, I'll send that one to
Yeah.
Tengetsu and
But yeah, the reason Trop, I don't think Trop did a bait team at all this week.
Not by choice.
Yeah, but that was the same reasoning that I didn't do it. That I only did it sparingly. There were a few matches.
How many
where I
people
was like,
would have had
okay.
that though? Like a full bait team, like the Sorrow, the mages, everything. Like how many people would have had all the pieces to that puzzle to not get the? Because if you do the full slow bait team, like you said, there's a problem. People could buff, people could run back, whatever. Obviously, you could try to avoid teams like that, but that's not always easy. People teach buff. I just went on a match and Zoma had a buff. I mean, it didn't bother me because I rushed in, but like, had I gone the whole Sorrow route, it could have been an issue for all I know.
Like it's good that I was streaming at least for most of this week, because you'd have to believe it to see it. I think literally every day, even the ones that I didn't stream, at least one or two opponents per day used both of the back rows. So believe it or not, I ended up having to use my blitz team as a bait team at least half the time.
I had to bait once.
It
Didn't work out. I got a 124, but like still, you guys saw that one on air. Like someone said, oh, it's going to be a 124, but not for the reason he thought it was. He thought, oh, you're just going to have to play it safe. I was trying to rush in. I pulled back the first turn, but I was still trying to rush in and trying to get the 120. I just couldn't. So I hadn't given up. He was just like, oh, just intentionally, because I could have left more people alive. I got pretty close to getting that 128. I was just one more hit. But yeah, I guess I'm top 50. That's not bad, which is surprising. What was it? 28 points behind, effectively.
And you're sure that's top 50?
I think this week it would be. I think so.
Oh, the fact that me, Vash, and Celery are at the top, we can make another clever name. I don't know.
Yeah, you could do
So,
Arena Watch podcast or join the Arena Watch Guild, something like that.
yeah,
Arena Watch
yeah,
could be all on one name, by the way, because it's so it takes 10 characters if you don't add a space, and you just put like Arena with a capital A and then Watch with a capital W, and that's fine. So join
Oh, that's
Arena
right. So it
Watch
can be first person
Guild.
join, yeah, watch, and then guild, yeah. I'm the third guy down, so I could probably be guild.
Yeah, it's real convenient because Trop and I are almost always right next to each other in the leaderboard. Like,
Yeah,
as long as we have the same points.
you could do
Our player IDs are
you could
real
do
close.
Watch join Arena Watch podcast / guild or something like that. If we get a
That's
fifth
pretty
person
long
up there,
name.
I don't know who else
Oh,
will be there, but
Join Arena Watch Guild.
yeah, you
join
could join Arena
Watch.
Watch Guild, or if we get cut off from Vash, it could even be Arena Watch Guild, depending on
Join
who
or
else.
view the Arena Watch podcast / guild, whatever, something like that. Because if they're watching the podcast or search Arena Watch guild / podcast or whatever. Because if they see the podcast, they're going to hear us talking about it. I'll eventually get the link in the description. Hopefully the 7-day one. I know we probably should private message that to people, but we'll have an area for it. We'll figure it out.
Oh, it is true, because we're, I guess, a bit picky on.
Yeah, I could put my Discord tag here. People could add me or try to message out to me, and then we'll see who we're trying to get for our 20 positions here. They should fill up nicely.
Because it's like a month left, right? So it's the exciting part. It's kind of the recruitment
Unless if they rush
process.
it for us, yeah. But yeah, it should be on time because they gave us a specific, like this quarter of the month, So
yeah.
So we should know roughly when it comes out because it's always like their weekly reset and. All right. Oh no, Weightless week. Okay, yeah, I wanted to get this on air, but my I'm trying to level my my Nocturnus naturally. He's like 102 or 101 still. I haven't wasted any codexes on him yet. But now would be the week to do it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I don't want to waste my codexes. I mean, at this point, I don't think we're ever going to have a codex issue in the game ever again. But, like, still, I don't know. What is maintenance? It's on the 17th, no?
Yeah, morning of the 17th.
That one's for the bridge, though, and not for DQT reset or whatever, weekly maintenance.
They're updating the bridge or something?
Yep, something like that. Should be on the 17th. I'll double check the game really quick, but I could be wrong. Plus, I should be farming on the game on auto. On auto. I'm almost, I'm on my way to clearing out all 3 shops, let's say.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It should be fun. I mean, you still have more gold than me, Trop, but I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Because each shop has like 50K, yeah.
Yeah, I think Celery hasn't touched the 50K yet, which I think he should, because if he is farming the same way I am, and I think he is, I think he will have no trouble clearing most of those shops, even the anniversary one, it looks like. Because the rate is triple, so it looks like you don't have a lot of time because it started later for the anniversary, but it's you have more time than you think. Okay, so it looks like the game's still live right now. So there's no update quite yet. So maybe it is the 17th, like I said. Let me check.
I think it's in the morning, too. It's like from 9 to 2.
Yeah, something like it was a strange time. Obviously, overnight in Japan, but like for us, it's a strange time. They're like, what, 13, 16 hours ahead? 16 probably. Notices, it would be in the important section. Maintenance, yeah, 17th. So yeah, we're still a ways away. Farm while you guys can. Okay, well, yeah. So as you guys know, I'm 28 points behind. I ran mostly like late into the week, I realized I could just use Zoma for his leadership on Claria. She basically one-shots a lot of crack weak units. I had Percival for the pull. Um, I had Metal Dragon and KSS, and I wasn't probably playing those effectively. Like actually running down KSS in the middle instead of on the left or the right of the middle wasn't effective because it jumps him forward and you can't yoink whoever's in the middle, or sometimes you can't run down the middle with Metal Dragon and then hit like 3 units. So I wasn't entirely playing it effectively for the majority of the week, but I kind of figured that out partway through. How much damage can Claria do with Zoma Leader? Well, with Brilliance, and assuming the enemy does not have any sort of resistance, crack spell, or crack resistance from Blossoms, it's hitting for me it was 108. Sorry, 1008, but I wasn't wearing Wisdom robes. I was wearing the liquid metal jacket for a bit more agility. Because I wasn't running the bait strat, so Clary needed to be just a tad faster, which was actually working out this week because a lot of people were running bait, so they're kind of slow anyway. And I sped some other Clarias, which was just perfect. So yeah, for me it was 1008. It would have obviously been like 30 or so more. I don't know how much wisdom I get on my robes, but it would have been a bit more had I put on the regular robes instead of agility. But the agility's just so damn good. There was no reason not to. And then without the brilliance, it was like 634 or something. Something like that. But yeah, I hit a Baramos and he had full bloom resistance, and it was like 890 something against him, 94. I can't remember. So it really depends on someone's resistances. He might have also had the liquid metal shield as well. Crack spell resistance there. Who knows? It was pretty low. 800 something? That's crazy. Crazy low for Claria this week.
He also has spell resist.
Yeah, spell resist. I forgot about that, yeah. The lowest I hit on a Dragon Lord with Bloom was in the 900s. So I was shocked. Yeah, I forgot about a spell resist. That was a good point. I remembered that when I was fighting him. I'm like, yeah, he has spell resist. That's why it's lower. But yeah. So it's different against different units. I had a perfect shot of him hitting a bloomed Dragon Lord. It wasn't fully bloomed on the resistances, but it also hit Baramos, and it hit someone else that was crack weak. It was perfect. It was a perfect shot. I have that video on my channel if you guys want to check it out. But there's no point. We're not doing crack week anymore. It's weightless week. We're back to weightless week, and I think we closed out the week and summarized pretty nicely. But weightless week this week's going to be crazy. Everybody has knock. Mine isn't going to be leveled up. I don't know. Maybe I'll dump a few codexes on him. Celery obviously already dumped his codexes. We still have time before the month is over, so I will, if he's not max level, I'm going to throw codexes on him so I could finish the anniversary tower. But we'll see. Same thing with Malroth, because I want to be able to use him for the Blossoming Door. I don't want to have to waste time again using the old strategy that I had. Now that I have Malroth, the odds are going to be a bit higher for me to finish. And speaking of Malroth, are you guys excited for what you guys saw on his Bloom? Or do you not know what his Bloom was entirely? Did you not see the translations? And
I'm excited. The plus 10% on sleep and poison is pretty huge for PvE usage.
But it should also be cancer for defense. Well, here's the thing. He has essentially he paralyzes. For one thing, he with his new move, it has a 40% chance to paralyze. It has which is going to be boosted to 50 because his passive from the Blossom adds another 10%. He has a basically 50% chance to paralyze. He'll have a 20% chance to disable movement like Hobble. He'll have another 10% chance to curse. And it's a 3-tile, like crackle range, basically. Um, and it's heavy, heavy martial. Like it's going to be pretty crazy. It's like his line ability, but turned sideways and in front of him. It's going to be pretty cancerous on defense and even on offense. I mean, you usually don't want to rely on status effects, but if it's hitting 3 units and it has chances to hit at least one, give something to someone, I mean, that pretty much there's chance that you're going to hit someone with some effect at that point. Then it's something you can calculate for. Not that, specifically it's going to be the hobble or specifically it's going to be the well, I mean, if they are paralyzed weak and you do have the 50% instead of the 40%, that's 100% chance. Like he instantly stuns Zoma. Paralyzes Zoma. So that is significant. Like getting to 50% in arena is significant because that means you could get to 100%. Like I wouldn't calculate 90% or 80%, but like 100% in arena that's a guarantee, And like until Zoma gets a bloom, in which case he could reduce those numbers down, he's gonna get fully hit with that every time. So that's gonna be crazy. But going back into next week, I don't know. Both my Malroth and my Nocturnus are at S7. I put the Awakening into Nocturnus. I didn't for Malroth. I'm waiting to see if we get any sort of fragments from maybe, I don't know, Mortimer. Maybe I want to awaken Mortimer himself. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see. I still have to get the fragments from the tower. So I'm trying not to spend anything on awakening Malroth quite yet. So I don't know. I might not put codexes into either for arena next week, but I would have really liked to. I would have really have liked to. That would have been cool.
Well, we got plenty of codexes sitting around, I guess.
Are you guys going to bring Nocturnus to arena next week? Either of you?
I don't have them.
No, I know, not you. Sorry. Celery, will you be bringing Nocturnus next week? Yours is codexed, awakened.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance I bring him. Maybe
he's a
not
really strong
match.
turn too.
Yeah, maybe every match. Like, he's really strong and he's got you can almost always hit both turns. I'll probably bring him every match. Yeah.
Yeah, his turn 2 is crazy because it, like, if you're right at the cusp of outspeeding your enemy, but not. On turn 1, you go slower, but on turn 2, you go faster. So that's 2 hits back to back that they can't retaliate to whatsoever. You know what I mean? So he has enough HP to survive anyway, usually. Should be interesting. I mean, he's viable in 2-turn arena, obviously. And in 3-turn arena, I think he's probably the best unit. At least that we have until Malroth gets his bloom. At least for a weightless week, right? He's still a 65 weight unit. Let's be real. But
yeah, for weightless week, he's definitely a top 5 unit for weightless week.
I want to bring him because of my sorrow, man. You know, my sorrow is pretty.
Week, I don't see why not.
That I have to codex him. What about you? You have the Demon King now. Is his beautiful blast? Is that physical?
It's physical. I would have to spend fragments to awaken him because his awakening is +1 move.
Oh no. And this map would require it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because if you could have had those two paired together, then you would have had 2 physical, Because obviously a Stark's not going to help out much. But maybe turn 2.
Yeah, I'll probably be doing Great Dragon, Nocturnus, Dragon Lord True Form, King Sea Slime, and probably.
Oh no, Pack is considering
Albert
physical again. Some people can consider physical. Like if obviously a Stark is not viable until turn 3-turn arena comes around, which is I think that's 44, week 44, 43, I can't remember. But you still can bring a Stark for turn 2. Obviously, if he does get into physical range and he has leadership from Nocturnus, he's going to be insanely powerful. That aside, obviously something that hits on both turns is better. So pairing, if you do want to bring him, Nocturnus as a leader, you could bring Sorrow and you could probably bring the Demon King, Orgo Daemir. That would probably be the two best units to bring with him for this week at least. Just because they could hit both
Dragon Lord
turns.
True Form pairs really well with him as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
His swing hits hard.
But that's turn 2.
And
if
then,
at all.
of course, he still has his breath for single target burst.
I think Dragon Lord's true form is a bit better than a Stark because at least you have the variation of having a very strong breath turn 1 and then a somewhat pretty good dragon swing on turn 2 if you're in range for it, whereas a Stark would have to be in range for, the physical for him to be any sort of viable.
To go cup.
Yeah, just take it up. Yeah. Anything else, my friend?
That's all.
Okay.
Demon King was a good unit. He was just timed improperly. If he came out before Sorrow and a Stark, he would have been like an insanely overpowered unit, and there wouldn't have been anyone around him at the time that would have been more powerful to get. So people would have already had the infrastructure people would have already had him in their box, and they would have already had that kind of investment into that branch, so to speak. But since he was kind of timed improperly, kind of like Malroth, not a lot of people picked up Malroth. He didn't see a lot of use,
It's my
I
last
think, and
night,
that was
so
the
I
only
really
reason.
appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I came here every night except for one.
So yeah, looks like Skull's sticking to GD, Arenasaurus, KSS, and fillers. Fillers aren't fillers this week because if you think about it, they're S ranks or Dragon Lords and heroes and stuff like that. Did we talk about this map? Do I have the right map out? I think this is the right map.
I hope so. I haven't looked on your.
There's a block on the left and right and one in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there's one spot that's not reachable with the fan attack, the 6 range.
The only thing that's interesting about this map is that it's very weird for Metal Dragon, I want to say. Like if the teams are split up the way this enemy's team is.
Take care. Have a great journey home.
Thank you.
Okay, so look how the this JP YouTuber positioned his team. Imagine if there was if that was the enemy team. You could move in with Metal Dragon and missile that Metal Dragon, and that would at least connect with 3 units. But I don't see people crowding their units together like that. Look how the enemy is set up. The enemy is obviously a bot team, but look how they're split. There's nobody that you could missile that it's going to hit more than one person. You know what I mean? KSS still can connect with multiple people, and that's fine. But Metal Dragon looks like he would have a harder time. What do you guys think? Or are you guys going to bring Metal Dragon this week?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, it looks like they could really split it up if they wanted to. I'm looking at the spots. Which spot can you not breath? Is it the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2? I don't know. I think every spot can be breathed, right?
Every spot can be hit by Claria, but that's it. The back middle tile is not 3 move breath range, I think.
Oh, well, you start one behind. Let's see. You start one behind the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, the back middle tile can't be reached by breath. It can only be reached by Claria.
Yeah, Claria, and that's it. And, B rank spells from B rank and A rank units, but no one's going to do that.
So, yeah, it's a pretty friendly map overall.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, isn't this the same as the... No, oh, I guess this is different. I was looking at the week 44 map. They look so similar, but they are different, yeah.
Just watch
They're,
the
they're
live
way
stream.
different. Let's see, I'm on my phone right now. I'll have to open the live stream.
Plus, you get to
on
read the
my-
comments.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Respond to the comments.
Yeah, so yeah, I think my team will be Great Dragon, usually leader, and then Dragon Lord True Form, King Shi Slime, Rough.
So you're not going to bring Nocturnus if you...
Nocturnus.
Oh, you're still going to bring...
Nocturnus.
I was about to ask, are you not going to bring him if you don't give leadership? And there that was.
No, I'll alternate depending on what I'm facing. I'll alternate leadership between Great Dragon, Nocturnus, and Rough.
Mm-hmm.
Rough will boost himself and Nocturnus. Nocturnus will boost himself and Dragon Lord True Form. Great Dragon will only boost himself, but a lot of times that's enough. So, and then King Shi Slime, I might sub out if I'm facing on Alina or mainly Alina. Then I might sub out King Shi Slime for Halberd Source.
Okay. Sounds good. So what are the permutations? What are the permutations this week, guys? Anything you want. Do you this week I'm kind of troubled. I want to ask what are the obvious avoids this week? And there's so many that I know that we can't avoid everybody. So, this week I'm just going to ask, what is a team that you're willing to face? How many troubling units? What's the limit? What's the cap here? Like, how many Nocturnus can Nocturnus and Seraphie be on the same team? Would you ever face that team this week?
Oh, man.
I think so. I haven't really had issues with Seraphie.
What if it was a Nocturnus Seraphie Dragon Lord's true form? Is that a no this week?
I think I still face
If it was 24,000 CP or higher, because it's Weightless, it's going to be very high CP this week.
Yeah, depending on Awakens, I think I still face it. Dragon Lord True Form is still pretty easily two-shot between Great Dragon and King Shi Slime.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, you're going to be able to get, I think, most of the spots, except for maybe that back middle, of course, and then the two back corners, I think, are the only... So there's only 3 spots that you can't double team a unit.
Right.
So you got a pretty good chance of being able to double team Dragon Lord True Form. So if you are running Great Dragon and King Shi Slime, you got a pretty good chance of taking him out before he can do anything. Nocturnus, really same boat as Dragon Lord True Form. He's weak to Sizz and Frizz, so you can double team him with King Shi Slime, and even King Shi Slime plus Great Dragon might be enough, but King Shi Slime plus Dragon Lord True Form definitely will. Like Trops Dragon Lord True Form probably one-shots one awakened Nocturnus, if I had to guess.
Hopefully.
So neither of those are big avoids for me. I think Zoma is particularly scary because if he's in that untargetable back middle spot, you have to bait or risk a crit. Like, he's not going to kill with his side cannon like he would this week, but he's going to hit someone for a bunch of damage.
What if you pick off someone where, say, the Hellion or Great Troll on the enemy side are currently? What if you pick someone off there, and Zoma can pretty much only hit you with, I don't know, like Glacial Doom or something?
Yeah, it depends on your resistances. Like his Glacial Doom still hits pretty hard at neutral damage.
Do you have
It's not a
anyone to
huge.
counter that, or
I guess Metal Dragon.
Yeah, Metal Dragon would be the best counter in general to Zoma, having that crack resist and high HP.
do you guys build your metal dragons with agility or HP mostly?
I haven't used mine in Arena yet.
Wow, that's surprising. Is he? He's not 120.
He is. He's fully bloomed.
How many awakenings?
I just haven't. 2.
Fully bloomed, and is fully bloomed considered getting all the stuff that matters, or is it putting talent points and everything as well?
He's got
Like the whoosh stuff.
he's got all of his talent points that give him something useful. He doesn't have the whoosh marshal. He doesn't have martial brilliant. He doesn't have any of that. But anything that boosts his defenses or his missile, he has.
Trop, is your whoosh marshal all maxed and everything?
Yeah, for me everything's max.
And that ability's at +10?
Oh no, but it
Twister
should
Blister.
be right. I think I got it at +8.
If it was at +10, you'd be hitting what, like brilliance for like 500-600 maybe in arena? It'd be higher than hybrid because hybrid doesn't have his bloom yet, so should be higher than hybrids. So it'd be 500-600,
Oh, like it should do more than hybrid's breath.
which is like 500 almost. Brilliance.
I guess I'll have to use this next home event wisely because I might get it to +10. I found some niche use for the Twister Blister, like when you wanna use the
I
Twister
lost
Blister
points this
move.
week because I didn't use it apparently.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know if I
there's
saw
a
that.
point that if I had used it, I could have positioned myself differently and then potentially have gotten off a missile, which would have been like a 40% chance. So I could have killed that Seraphy or whatnot.
Yes, I don't know. And those niche uses, Twister Blister is no joke, and it saved me some points last week. So I mean, it might be worth getting to 10, even though it's not as strong. It's about the risking the follow-up missile when you have to, which hopefully is not something that happens often, but
Yeah. So what? Then the question remains because neither of you answered it technically. But what combination of units is like, okay, that's it. No, I'm not facing that team. It's like I'm saying like 24,000 or higher CP, so you know they have multiple awakenings or whatever it takes to be that high. Which is not going to be that hard. It's 60. I mean, most people are going to be like 265 weight or higher this week, 250 or higher. But like, what makes you turn your head and be like, no, that's it. No, I can't. I'm not going to face that team. What combination of units and why? Like, is it just endemic to your team specifically, or is this just super powerful in general? It's a general avoid that we could tell all our viewers to worry about, or do we need to tell our viewers, oh, if you run this team, definitely not this set of units? So
Yeah.
take the stage, both of you, I guess, for that question.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Like I mentioned, Zoma. Zoma is terrifying if it's
But that you said
the
that alone.
unchargeable
So
spot.
like, what kind of I mean, just Zoma by himself, is it already an avoid, or is Zoma plus someone else?
Yeah, just Zoma by himself. I try to avoid. I
Oh,
don't
damn.
like facing Zoma
Even
because
weightless
I
week.
can't. Yeah, even weightless week. I try to avoid it as long as there's
Can't
because I
Nocturnus kill him?
always assume worst case scenario.
Rough.
And worst case scenario that Zoma is going to be in the spot I can't reach. And if I can't reach him, I can't move Ruff up because he'll kill Ruff.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone else that I do move up is a risk if he can get there in side cannon range. So it really limits the amount I can move up.
Ruff can't one-shot him?
Ruff can, but if he's in that back middle spot, he can't reach him.
Wait, let's see. Ruff has 4 movement. I think Can't he?
Really has fan breath range, same as
The small fan breath, can't that... Wait, look at the map, though. Can't he?
Let's see.
No, he can't. You're right, yeah. He can... Yeah. Yeah, it's the same. I don't know what to say then, yeah. Nocturnus obviously can't. No, none of your whoosh units can reach that far back until we get a 4-move Kaswoosh unit. Okay, so for you it's Zoma. How about any combination of any other unit not counting Zoma? Is there anybody else?
Yeah. So, he's scared. Just the strong, I guess, like Gem Slime would be really similar.
Really?
Just the strong typeless attack being untargetable is very difficult to deal with.
Joshua said he's totally bringing Baramos.
Oh, he's probably got it Blossom. Baramos would be a good bring. I think, other units to avoid maybe...
I mean, he could confuse Metal Dragons and other things that would be good.
Maybe
could be
Forest
backfire,
Dragon
though.
is an avoid.
Forest Dragon?
Yeah, because he might use that ability that gives everyone 20% resistance.
Oh no,
So
that
you
would
see
be
a team with,
cancer.
like-
Yeah, everybody bring your Forest Dragon, Seraphy, and who's the strongest turtling unit? Stone Golem?
Like Leary Lantern, maybe?
Leary Lantern or Golden Scorpion?
Yeah, with how much crack is in Arena, probably the Leary Lantern's going to be the most annoying.
And give everybody buff.
Give everybody buff,
And
yeah.
put them on Fight Wisely. Does that apply? Did we figure that out? Did we finally crack the code to the new AI mechanic? Apparently, if you're in range, it will attack. If you're not, it will buff. So what's the deal? We need to figure that out for the audience.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it works. Any attacking, so magic and attacking types will use an attack if they can hit something. If they have a buffing
Without
ability
even needing
and
to
they
kill it.
can't-
Without needing to kill it, because the old AI,
Yeah,
it's like if they had to kill, they would. If they didn't, they wouldn't.
Yeah, and
But the new one's different.
Yeah, they will attack. I think no matter what. I know there have been times that I've noticed like strange movements when you have heavy resist, but I don't think I've seen that with the new AI. And then, but if they have a buff and there is nothing in range, they will buff just like the old AI. They'll run backwards. They'll run sideways. You don't know exactly where they're going, but it's probably not in a direction. It's not going to be towards you. It will. Well, actually, I think we did see Seraphy take a step up to get more people in her gritty ditty on one of your on your 1-2-4.
Yeah, which is what I assumed she would do.
Yeah. So yeah, they will move and buff, and that can really mess you up. But if they don't have a buff ability, like one of the benefits of facing heroes is they don't have a scroll. So Elena is really easy to play around because if there's nothing in range, she always will run up 3. And you just have to kill her before she gets her next action.
I was thrown off by Maribel also going completely left. That same match that you said I got a 1-2-4. Maribel went left because in front of her was Zoma and Claria, which weren't in range to attack. But they both resist Frizz, though they're weak to whoosh. I don't know, but he ran left, which was way over there was Metal Dragon, and that threw me off for that match.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to explain that one. I really don't know if it was, if like I don't remember her skill levels. If maybe her whoosh wasn't as high up as her Frizz attack, and maybe she was thinking, oh, she could
single target does do more damage too. So
Yeah, single target does more damage. So maybe that was her reasoning, was trying to go towards the unit she could hit for the most damage next turn. But I that one surprised me as well. I wouldn't have predicted that if I were facing that team. So I don't know how to explain that yet.
Okay. What about you, Trop? Sorry.
Nope.
Hello?
Yeah. We're
Wait,
trying to
it cut out for a
go
second.
over AI mechanics, but I think we got everything that we know, and what we don't know. So, but what about units this coming week? Is there anything that you're just any set of specific units together, any combination that you're just like, no, that's it. I don't care if this is like a 24K team and I'm up against all 27K teams. This is a 24K team, but I won't take it because it's like that cancer. I don't know. Is there
Well,
any combination of units that is just like it's a no-go this week?
Probably,
people could do anything.
Seraphy mixed with Carver, maybe Seraphy in general, Carver mixed
That's a
with
good
other
point. I
stuff.
forgot about Carver.
Yeah, Carver is really
I have to hit him
difficult
with
to
3
deal with.
typeless, basically, or neutrals just to kill him.
Yeah.
With my team.
He's incredibly tanky. You basically can't damage him with physical if it's not coming from a very high attack and brilliant, preferably. And he's got so much HP.
And you know he's maxed every time. So.
Yep, and everyone's got him maxed by now because it's been over 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So Carver is rough, but I think he'll be easier to deal with than normal this week because I'll have 2 whoosh damage and a strong typeless physical. Actually, just the Dragon Breath as well. He's neutral to Frizz. So between the three, between Rough, Nocturnus, and Dragon Lord True Form, I should be able to guaranteed kill him. Even worst case scenario, if he's in that coward spot in the back, I can kill him turn 2 guaranteed. And all I'd have to do is not move probably Rough and maybe King She Slime up as well to avoid getting hit for that 800, 900 damage. So yeah, he's bad, but I don't think he's a straight avoid for me. I think I can avoid taking it.
Yeah, because you do have Rough and you do have Nocturnus, so he's like manageable.
Yep. Yeah, without those two, he hits the meta team, which is Trop's team,
Crack and
really
Sizz.
hard. The Crack and Sizz resist is really strong in Arena right now.
And I already hated Ragnar, and then this guy came in, and they're like, "Fuck! Why do they release these tanky assholes for free that are mostly only good on defense? Because people are gonna use them."
Yeah.
Man, I do not like facing Carver.
Yeah, so that's going to be your avoid this week, huh? Carver, Seraphy.
Yeah, those are my top 2. Zoma's bad, but I might not have a choice some matches because there's so many other avoids.
Man, I really liked going against Zoma on Bianca. I mean, the Zap Hero week, that was amazing. But now, yeah, he's still troublesome. And my Rough is not up to snuff yet.
Man, Zoma's still such an old character, still giving us all trouble.
Yeah, he's not great on offense. He's passable, but he's a 5 range mage. So, but on defense, he's just a terror. Mainly because, if he starts out where you can't hit him, he's gonna hit something for 800 damage.
Yep.
So, but I mean, I might bring in the bait team if I'm forced up against
units
Azoma.
that you don't know have a buff or something.
Yeah, like that. I might bring in. Well, even if they do have, if some of them have it, I can probably still manage and get up there turn 2. Hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, that's always a risk. If there's a Zoma with buff in that back spot, he's just gonna hide in a corner.
Mm.
So, but it's can't think of. Honestly, it's hard to think of avoids. I usually think more in terms of targeting, which for this week, I do like to target Seraphy. The best way of not having an issue with Seraphy is making sure that your team all goes before Seraphy, and then you just kill. You don't leave anything at half or low HP. You kill everything, and then Seraphy doesn't have anything to do. So maybe she buffs herself, or maybe she runs up and auto attacks if you literally kill everything else. But like the only real issue with Seraphy is if you allow her to heal up even one unit. Like it's just a massive loss of resources in your arena battle, having to deal that extra 700 damage, even 900 damage, depending on if they have the turn. Seraphy's pretty quick, so a lot of times Seraphy will heal them, and then they'll go after that and get any additional amount healed if they were left near death. So it really uses up your resources, and it's very difficult to two-turn at that point. But I've found that my teams, the Blitz team with occasional single target running Dragon Lord True Form, running Dimension Dragon. Sometimes you can usually arrange it so that she has nothing to heal when her turn comes around, and in that case, she's just not very threatening. So I'll target a Seraphy. I'll target Metal Dragon. Isn't so bad because he can't kill anything on his own. He can only, deal heavy damage, and you have a risk of follow-up. But same as Seraphy, if you don't let anything attack you after the Metal Dragon, there's no risk of follow-up, and he can't kill on his own. So he's another one that I've found is fairly reasonable to play around, even if you can't kill him. And a lot of times you can kill him with Dragon Lord True Form. Sorrow is a big target between Great Dragon, Dragon Lord True Form, Kingsley Slime / Halberd. Sorrow takes heavy damage. You only need to hit him with any two of those. A lot of times Dragon Lord True Form will one-shot, depending if it was a low awaken one. But Great Dragon plus any of the others also kills. So Sorrow is a very safe enemy to pick for my team. As Stark, if it's a one awaken as Stark, and sometimes even more now because I've started running King She Slime. Like even the higher awakens, I don't have to one shot with Dimension Dragon anymore. I can just kind of kill him with the Blitz strategy, and even through his heal, he doesn't have enough to go through multiple. If you can overlap your attacks well enough. And he's very easy to play around. You just don't get anyone within 3 range of him, and all he does is breath. Like he doesn't have any range, so it opens up more of the field for you to play with if you can't kill him. Dragon Lord True Form, kind of similar. He is fairly threatening, but between Crack weakness, Sizz weakness, and Frizz neutral, there's a lot of ways that he can be taken out before he moves, because he's almost always very slow. I don't see a lot of people putting the Beastmaster claws on him like I do. So he's usually one of the last to move.
What are unit recommendations or combos this week that you would say work out? I mean, we're in the Martial meta, but Nocturnus just hit. So, there's still the option for hybrid teams like Sorrow, Nocturnus, with like the rest being Martial, hybrid Breath Martial teams. Like, what are your meta team recommendations this week? Because I mean, there's no wait. So,
Yeah.
what do we
Yeah,
actually do?
Go ahead, Trop.
Oh no.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, the Blossom units, the Squid, the KSS, the like for Blossom units, they're pretty much all good to bring this week if you want to. Otherwise, yeah, good banner units.
Should we even
I'm
ask what
curious
you're
how
bringing
things
this week?
Do you know? Can you predict it?
What do we think he's bringing this week, Celery? The
All
same
right,
thing we
let's
always
see.
do, Brain. We try to take
Giant
over the
Ogre of
world.
the arena. Great Dragon, Kingsley Slime, Metal Dragon, Dragon Lord True Form, and then either Squid or I don't remember who your other alternative is for your fifth spot.
King Slam? Or did you already list that?
I said Kingsley Slime.
Oh, so Halberd, I guess?
Yeah, so I guess Squid or Halberd for the last slot. Depending on which one you think will be better. So
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
yeah, and it works. There's as we said, there's no at the current state. We are expecting a rules change here in what 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pretty soon, yeah.
yeah, so we might be. I expect to see a lot more viable teams. I think the current meta teams will still generally work, but it'll open up a lot more options with that, mainly with that third turn. I think the boosted HP will also definitely take some getting used to, as we've seen. You really have to learn your new damage metrics. But the boosted HP also kind of helps you on the counterattacks, that you can take at least one hit when before you weren't able to take one. You just can't take two. So, but as for teams, for team comps that work, I do think that the Dark Lord physical team is completely viable this week. The Sorrow, Nocturnus, Demon King Orgodemir, Dragon Lord True Form, any combination of those four, including all four of them. They've all got 6 linear range. They've all got strong AoE. It's a perfectly reasonable. If you had that full team, I'd probably run it just for fun. But if you had enough awakens on all of them that they are strong, but they're going to hit really hard with that Nocturnus leadership. Let's see, like I said, the Blitz team in general should still work fairly well. It's not a bad map at all for that, being able to hit all except for one square. No boosted HP, so I don't have to worry about that. I honestly think that depending on your matchup, it might be worth it to slot in Claria as your 5th unit occasionally, even without the spell boost.
Would you recommend me to keep her with her setup that I have currently with the liquid metal vest to get her to like 413 agility, or should I do the other one, which is like 386?
So the only time I would slot her in is if you're facing a crack weak mage, or also pretty much a crack weak mage, a slow crack weak mage. So I don't think the liquid metal vest is necessary, because I don't. Any of the crack weak mages are already going to be slower than her base speed.
She won't be able to one-shot them, though. That's the sad thing.
I'll have to check. Like, even without the 40% boost, I think she'll get pretty close. Not on Dragon Lord. Dragon Lord's too tanky especially with the
Baramos
extra
is the other
resistance.
crack weak mage, but he has the spell damage reduction. So it's
There's also Nira.
oh, okay, I guess. Yeah.
Nira and I think it might be Maribel. There's
Yeah. You don't see her
I
often,
think
but yeah, Maribel.
Nira and Maribel. So I guess it would really just be Nira and Maribel.
Maribel might be good this week, countering Sorrow.
You might be able to pick off. I mean, there's not really many of them left. If you're bringing him this week,
if you're going up against a Nocturnus team, Nocturnus is weak to Frizz, right? Demon King.
Nocturnus is weak to Frizz.
Demon King, Nocturnus, Sorrow teams.
Yep. Yeah, like Maribel, she's definitely.
She has a 4-range Frizzle that is like higher damage than a regular Frizzle.
Yep. Yeah, she's a decent counter pick. But not, I would say, definitely not on the tier of the Dragon Lords. Dragon Lord and Dragon Lord True Form are both have some significant advantages over Maribel.
She just has the reach, but that's it.
Yeah, Dragon Lord can't go through Sorrow Shield, but has better reach and a second element. Well, Dark. I guess they both have 2 elements.
Mm-hmm.
And also has that heal, so I guess Dragon Lord is probably pretty close, depending on what you're facing. You could go between Dragon Lord or Maribel, but Dragon Lord True Form only has the 1 element, but also can spin for neutral damage. Yeah, I can definitely see Maribel as a pretty valid pick.
What are we gonna see this week from other players? What are they gonna just automatically bring?
Carver, Nocturnus, Stark, Seraphy.
Even though Stark's not good and Carver's not good.
Even though he's not good, they're gonna bring him. And probably I'm gonna say Sorrow. I think we're gonna see people bringing back the Sorrow team, and to pair with Nocturnus and a Stark.
Oh, that's gonna be brutal if it goes off. Imagine a full physical whatever team all getting leadership. That's 125% total.
Yeah.
What would be a nice counter to those units that we're gonna see?
So Carver is countered by just damage, like
neutral, like
really probably
Marquis
Nocturnus. Yeah, Nocturnus. Marquis is good. Yeah, he resists bang and hits him for strong neutral martial damage, so he
What's
ignores
his weakness?
the defense.
It's whoosh and
Whoosh and Zam.
Whoosh and Zam. Okay.
So the
if Dragon Lord happened to be range, but that's not likely. Always.
Well, Dragon Lord. Yeah, Dragon Lord. Dragon Lord has a pretty solid shot of getting in range. Cause,
I just feel like Carver would, since he's so slow, he would build agility. So yeah, I don't think Dragon Lord's going to outspeed him.
No, well, Dragon Lord, I never expect to outspeed anything. I would, expect to hit him after Carver goes. But Carver also usually isn't going to deal heavy damage.
Mm-hmm.
He's usually going to use his Bang Marshal, which can't crit. And so as long as you avoid putting any Bang weak units in front of it, you're talking about, maybe 500 damage if it's plus 10? So it's, it hits hard, but it's, relatively non-threatening in the same way of Metal Dragon. He deals less damage neutral than Metal Dragon does. So,
any other counters we think for this week?
Maribel, like we mentioned, she has that Kaswoosh Plus or whatever it's called.
I thought it's just the Firebird that penetrates for Sorrow.
For Sorrow, yes, but for Carver.
Okay, yeah, Carver, that's true.
So she's got Uh, for let's see.
I mean,
Not
Nocturnus
so
does.
Nocturnus.
Rough,
Yeah.
maybe.
So a bunch of the
There's not
three
good whoosh,
best.
martial, or breath. That's the problem.
Yeah. Nope.
That's what we would
It's-
look for at a damage carver, but it just doesn't exist. What about
Nope.
Zam, breath, and martial? That's not
Nope.
existent either. Stark's breath
Yeah.
is not good.
Yeah. So really the Carver, your best counters for Carver are Nocturnus and Dragon Lord Trueform. He's Frizz neutral, and Dragon Lord Trueform still does like 750 damage at neutral.
Mm.
So that's your really best combo, is kind of taking everything else out and then being able to gang up on him turn 2 with a strong whoosh and a Dragon Lord Trueform breath, and then whatever else you can throw at him.
I feel like you already mentioned the counter to Seraphy, so like Nocturnus and a Stark are kind of like more obvious. Like obviously the Sizz and Frizz hitting, Nocturnus. Like KSS is just by far the best unit to deal with those two.
Yep, yeah, KSS is
Halberd's
excellent.
okay, but not amazing.
Dragon Lord Trueform is excellent.
What's a Stark's
Halberd,
second weakness? It's Bang. Yeah.
yeah, Stark's second weakness is Bang. So Dimension
Carver.
Dragon is good. Baramos is really good.
Some people
Squid.
with Carver,
Squid is really good. Carver is
on a Marshall team.
fairly good. Yeah, Carver is quite good. There's a good amount of Bang options now for dealing with a Stark.
Still like the Sizz options though. Seem a lot better.
Says basically, I think KSS makes a good argument for being like the single best unit to bring in general, as long as there's not an Alina.
What if they had?
other...
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Oh, just like Sizz is a really good attacking type. KSS has some, you can go straight up the middle, and you don't put yourself in as much danger while hitting those middle 3 spots, which is really valuable for getting those multiple hits on stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to hit with multiple.
So
you wouldn't normally be able to overlap your attacks.
Would you recommend keeping? See, we had the option for hopping through the 2 middle blocks this week with KSS, or being to the left and right of it and just stopping at the block. Do you prefer being blocked from your KSS jumping farther, or do you want your KSS to jump into action typically?
I typically find myself using KSS to be blocked by the blocks, not necessarily to keep KSS safe, but because it lets you overlap your attacks better.
Yeah.
Whereas Halberd or Great Dragon, they can only get their full 6 range if they move into the same line as the blocks. But KSS can overlap with them while not having to get, even with the block there. And that's a pretty big factor in being able to kill a lot of stuff sometimes, is being able to hit it with that extra hit from KSS, whereas any other combination of units, maybe you can't hit it with enough things. If like this one, we can still hit with 2 if you took a fan breath on either side of it, but maybe 2's not enough depending on what you're facing. So that's why I really like blocks with KSS, is that you can kind of cheat the system and overlap attacks where you wouldn't normally be able to.
What's interesting with this map? Imagine if there was a Sorrow right where Great Dragon is standing. You yoink 2 units there. At least it lines up a few units close to each other, and then Metal Dragon could missile them, and then it connects. That could be a thing to consider. I think if I was going to do the Sorrow this week, I would definitely pair it, assuming I wasn't already going to run down that side and just breath, because that would be, the most effective thing to do is just run down the side and breath. But if I was going to yoink one of these sides, I could just literally line people up to have the missile connect on multiple people.
Yeah, that's
obviously I couldn't do that to the right side, but I could do it to the left side in this current iteration with Sorrow. That would work.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really interesting tactic. Definitely worth. Probably will get a chance to use if you are running Sorrow and Metal Dragon.
But I'm not sure. I prefer to give the leadership to KSS, even if it's just 10%. It's probably not a lot of damage when you think about it. And then it's weird because I want to run KSS, I want to run Metal Dragon, but at the same time, I have to bring at least, Great Dragon. And it's like, well, that's already split between Breath and Dragon Breath and Martial, and that's bringing, like Sorrow and Nocturnus on top of that is already just like, okay, come on. I don't know who I would give leadership to at that point. I don't even know if that's a team I would run. It's complicated. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I could easily see running a team like that. No, it's pretty close to what I'm expecting. Just with Rough instead of Metal Dragon most of the time. And I mean, maybe I'll even substitute out my Rough for Metal Dragon if I'm worried I'm not going to be able to use Rough turn 1, or if there's not enough whoosh weak stuff. I just want the heavy neutral damage. But I think Nocturnus with leadership is just so strong overall. Being able to hit. You hope to face something at least weak to whoosh so you can hit hard turn 1. But even if you can't hit something for brilliant damage, you're still hitting with a, what is it, like 375%, something like that, whoosh neutral. And then turn 2, you hit for whatever is like 520% with his Devil's Finesse. Like he's and of course we've already mentioned he's going early in the turn order. He's not terribly fast unless you build agility on him, but he gets solidly into the 400s on turn 2. So I usually do run the liquid metal vest on him. Give him just a little bit of boost to
which
make him
you would
out
probably recommend everybody to re-roll that with any sort of Omni Stones we get for that.
Yeah.
That's what
Omni Stones, liquid metal vest, I do believe has the best payout for your very limited amount that we get of those.
Yeah, because we don't get any, because it's a jacket, right? So it's considered like clothing or whatever. It's the light cloth or whatever. And we've never gotten an alchemy stone for that ever. So that's the only way to get it. And it's just so good because it's like you could always get your HP somewhere else. You could always, get something somewhere else. But it's like sometimes if you don't have the HP in the armor, you just get it in the sword or whatever. But if you don't have the agility, sometimes you can't win a match in PvE, let's say. So you want to make sure you're rolling stuff so it's usable in PvE, in arena, everywhere. And having a dedicated agility armor is so important, especially considering what's the other option to roll on it. It's like Sizz resistance, like fine, or physical Sizz or Sizz. And then the other option's defense is like, well, defense is not too useful in Arena compared to, say, like HP. So agility is king, I think, especially even going into 3-turn Arena, agility will still have value, I think.
Yep. Yeah, no, agility, like you said,
right now,
there's a
agility
lot
is
of
king.
times where, it's just absolutely necessary that you reach a certain level of agility. And
The
so
threshold.
having certain threshold. And so having more on the vest can be essential. Also, the vest starts out with only a single gold agility roll. So there's a lot of ways you can end up with an upgrade.
And it doesn't have that many roll options, right? Some of the other equipment has just like paralyze resist, this and that resist. Like the other robes and jackets in the A rank is like, hobble resist and whatnot for like the poison resist or hobble for the beast jacket. And it's like that really makes it a lot harder to get a decent roll, That's another one. Just roll the beastly jacket. That's perfect for Marquis de Leon. If you have him, obviously. If you don't, then it doesn't matter. But if you have him, I got like 2 perfect agility rolls. It's like 9. Because you could only get on the thing that came with Sorrow's. Was it Sorrow's Peak? The Bjorn dude. It was the green robe. It was Cloak of Evasion or something. And that one, the max roll you could get agility on that is 8. And the one for the beastly jacket was 9. Sure, it's only beast agility, but it goes up to 9 for each roll. And I got like perfect for the agility, and I got perfect for the defense. It's like I didn't want defense on there, but whatever. It's a close second. Yeah. So those are perfect things to roll, I think. Definitely use all your Omni Stones on that. It's a great arena purchase, great for PvE. Trop, you want to add anything before? I know you're leaving like 7:30 or something. He might actually already be gone. Because I'm gonna probably say what?
Oh, I'm just gonna say I'm here for a bit, but I'm about to take off pretty soon here. But I think we've covered a lot about the HP sword and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I guess you could try turning the liquid metal into that. In my case, I don't have Nocturnus, so I turn Nocturnus sword into that, and it's the exact same thing. So luckily, I'm good on that. But yeah,
you could never have too many HP swords. Sometimes you might need to have like 3 for fight. So
is that the motto? Never enough HP swords.
For sure.
The main difference being that for anyone who's high performer, you almost always are getting at least gold every week. The Omni, or not the Omni Stones, but the Alchemy Stones in the Arena shop are weapon and armor.
Sword and armor. And it's
not weapon. Yeah,
and
sword.
It's a plate shield too. It's like the plate armor. It's not the clothes. It's not the jackets or vests or.
Right. So you can spend tokens on the sword Alchemy Stone to reroll the liquid metal sword, which is a solid option if you're at the point where you've got the units you need. That's liquid metal sword is one of the high HP swords. It's every bit as good as the Okeanos sword. It's the re-rolling it is significantly more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But it is one of, if not the best option for those alchemy stones.
And we're assuming everyone watching this podcast is that type of person that could afford to do that in the shop. So
that's why I mention it, is that once you're in Trop spot, you've got like 20,000 arena.
He was down to like 4,000 or 5,000 recently because he spent a lot.
Yeah,
but that's still enough to use every month. If he wanted, he could use 1,500 or 3,000 every month and get away with it.
And so the the liquid metal sword is my recommendation if you're looking to use your tokens.
Is the priority on the sword or is the priority on the plate armor? Because you could roll the plate armor for HP. So if you had to decide, because you're like, okay, this is expensive. I could spend 1,500 a month on swords, or I could spend 1,500 a month on armor, but I'm not going to spend 3,000 on both total.
So
what would your recommendation be?
If you're looking purely at arena, I would focus on the sword.
Even though we already have multiple swords and there's no, triple S armor.
Yeah.
HP, triple HPS armor.
I'd have to look. Maybe the Sakura armor might have the best potential.
Sakura?
But one of the main reasons I also say that is that if you are rolling the armor, I would definitely use that on the Hela armor.
Hela, and that's for PvE. So
for PvE, because that just has some obscene defense potential.
At least 5 higher per roll than the liquid metal armor, which is 15 max, whereas that one is 20 max per roll. Yeah. So that's for sure. But like assuming, but between Hela's armor and the swords, which one would you rather roll first for us and players like Vosh and assuming that we also dabble in PvE,
if you're looking at PvE as and arena, I think the armor is definitely better. It's like you said, we have other HP swords, so I think the armor.
Both of them are better, or just the Hela's better?
Just Hela's.
Just Hela's. So you wouldn't say that for the liquid metal, for the HP, because it already has 2 HP rolls.
Yeah, 2 gold HP rolls on the liquid metal armor. That's hard to beat. I know, because I've been trying to improve my Cloak of Evasion from 2 gold agility rolls.
Yeah, but that has like the paralyzed resist, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and
but
that
still,
ruins it.
that paralyze and hobble. I see it all the time.
Whereas the liquid metal just has a few like bang or bang physical, bang.
Yeah, bang physical might have straight bang. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the base set of rolls on the liquid metal armor are really good. Whereas the Hela's armor only has 1 defense on the standard roll. So there's a lot of options it's gold, of course, but there's a lot of options to improve there. And then the sword, liquid metal sword, I think is only slightly behind that because the base roll does have only 1 gold HP roll. And the other 2 are gold attack. And we now have plenty of attack weapons if you're looking to go attack. So you can definitely roll that one safely for HP.
Even though it has a 4% base for the physical attack?
Yeah, that doesn't hurt it. I mean...
Yeah, who would you use that on? What unit are you looking to give 4% physical attack to instead of the rare chance at a zap hit? You know what I mean? A zap follow-up. Because if someone's in range and you hit them with a martial ability or a breath ability and they're in range for that zap follow-up physical, that would be better than having 4% physical when you're never going to do physical. You know what I mean? And I know it's the odds of it happening are 10%. No, it's 20%, but it's still like, it's there. It's better.
The main units would be Boreal would be probably the number 1 unit that I'd give it to over the...
Boreal's still running HP over a physical attack and agility? Even post-bloom? Yeah. Even with all the HP nodes fully awakened?
I run Okeanos Sword on him. He's fairly fragile. Even with the extra HP, he's fairly fragile, and he's very fast. So Like he's going to go, he's going to be targetable, and he just needs, he doesn't have good defense, so it's definitely I run Okeana Sword on him usually, and I would probably run Liquid Metal Sword if I got good HP rolls on it. I'd probably run that over Okeanos.
Okay, and who else could utilize a full HP Liquid Metal Sword?
Dragon Lord True Form would be a potential.
Even though he's slow?
Even though he's slow, it's if you were to put full HP. I almost never do. I'm almost always putting Beastmaster Claws, and then if I'm going up against a slow team where there's nothing that I think is going to need that higher agility level, I just go with the Nimzo Dagger. So I probably am not putting the sword on him, but if you, especially with now with Nocturnus, there's more opportunities for that mixed damage Dragon Lord True Form, where you breath on turn 1 and you spin on turn 2. Or even, if depending on the lineup, you could spin turn 1 because he's slow. So I had at least, like, the one video I posted on my channel where I misclicked on Nocturnus, but I was still able to run up and spin on 3 units with Dragon Lord True Form turn 1. And that's, very, very strong. So I think he could definitely be a good candidate for the sword. And then, of course, more HP on Dragon Lord True Form means he's even harder to kill because his self-heal is based off his max HP.
That's interesting because, you had the Astark's heal isn't based off of max HP, Astark, MDL,
Yep.
units like that. Dragon Lord, and in the future Malroth, I guess. Malroth doesn't matter because he's just going to get a full heal.
Yeah. Malroth just heals to full,
which is going to be insane because so I have a question about that. He has to be below 20% HP. It said,
that's what we think. Yes,
it's already lower than MDL, who's 30%. So that's a hard threshold. I mean, he has a larger pool of HP than MDL, so it'll be scary dropping that low. But maybe 20% is not that scary, but it still seems scary having to drop all the way down to 20% just to heal. That's some pretty crazy stuff,
Yeah,
I'd feel uncomfortable.
It's definitely going to really reward, knowing your numbers, because if you're not going to hit him, there's going to be a huge difference between almost killing him and killing him. It's, if you almost kill him, you do 0 damage or negative damage if he was already damaged. If you kill him, he's dead. So
you see his passive increases the heal.
He gets.
I know
increased.
It could apply to the Dark Lord sacrifice ritual, whatever thing, but it's funny because it can't apply to his full heal. Yeah. It just seems kind of funny.
That is a super goofy passive. Like, I think it was purely put there as, like, hey, we need to give him 4 things, but we don't want to give him 4 things.
If they took up a big node for that and didn't pair it with one of the other passives and just like, oh no, this is all you get is just an increased heal chance, not put them all under one node or something, I would be so pissed. It's so stupid. I mean, it doesn't hold him back none. He's still going to be the most viable unit for the longest period of time, like the top unit in the game, in my opinion. But the top unit to get, at the very least, right? There's no... Arguably, since the beginning of this game, there's never been a more efficient unit to pull on for their banner, right? Like, there's never been a unit more efficient to spend your gems on than Malroth.
Yeah, his... the only argument is Seraphie. Seraphie is more used in PvE, and but not good in PvE. I'm sorry, in arena.
yeah.
She's not good in arena. Malroth with his bloom is going to be excellent in both.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna be insane.
So
It's just gonna be crazy. It's not even funny how insane he'll be. I'm debating between like is Chocolate Toss 2 range, or is it like a
2 range?
So it's basically the same as mid heal, right? But there could be the corners of it, so the plus sign, it kind of branches out. So I don't know.
Chocolate Toss doesn't do a plus sign. Chocolate Toss is single target.
It's single target, but it has the plus. So if there's another unit next to that unit, it could heal that one too, right?
Does it? I don't think so.
Wait, is Chocolate Toss single target?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's just Claria that has the plus sign heal.
Interesting. Who had a plus sign Marshal? It must have been one of the trees.
Oh, yeah, the new tree, the 1% drop that Kage maxed.
Could be. I think that has a plus sign heal, or it could have been the Sakura tree. I don't know. The cherry blossom.
And I just got the Sakura tree. I don't know if he has the plus sign heal or not. I haven't looked yet.
Yeah, he has some sort of zap multi-hit ability. Not the worst, not the best. But
Malroth blunt is good on him, just like it is everyone. Buff.
But assuming I want to give a heal, just to utilize that passive a bit better, because he doesn't have a boost to his Marshal, does he? That we know of.
Yeah, he probably will get in his boom, like
let's
3%.
Let's say because the bloom is the abilities at the top, then you have 4 slots, right? You have 1 to the right, 2 to the left, 1 at the bottom. Let's say they stuff a lot of those passives together, and then one could be like HP, like 150, like with Dragon Lord. And then the other one could be, I don't know, something else. Maybe they didn't mention everything, because that would be boring, right? I mean, they didn't mention everything with the other blooms. Like, when we actually got them, there's a lot more stuff there.
Yeah, the issue with giving him a heal is that based on reading it, he only receives from what people have translated, he only receives increased healing. So it would raise his own healing on himself.
So if someone cast a heal on him, though, like a Seraphy or Claria.
Right, yeah. So Seraphy, Claria, he gets extra from that heal. It's a really strange, you're not usually tanking stuff with Malroth. Occasionally, I'm sure it does happen, like on my 30 clear, he's usually the one tanking Red Crim during the auto attack phase. But there's not a lot of times that he's receiving consistent healing.
Have you ever used the Dark God passive on him in PV? I mean, it could come up.
Oh, yeah.
Or inadvertently, you lost.
I will say I've never used the Dark God passive for the HP portion.
Just them. Okay, that's reasonable.
You just sack a unit at right at the end, so that you can finish them off with that 700 plus damage blast. So, but no, I've never had a unit die so that he could heal himself. That never comes up. But that's like we'll see once it comes out. If it's only receives increased healing, it's effectively a waste of flowers. There's almost nothing that really comes into play. Like facing Malroth now in arena, I've never had to, I've never like hit Malroth with something that didn't kill him and then killed something else and then came back to Malroth after he healed and then had to hit him for more. Like that never happened.
In 3-turn arena, heals are more viable though, right? Because the match goes on longer. You have chances to kill the enemy. I mean, Seraphy has the chance to gritty ditty. Instead of heal, just use her passive heal, or whatever gritty ditty
Yeah,
alternate between the passes.
yeah, I suppose in
So-
3-turn arena, which it will be by the time it gets here, it's a worthwhile node.
It wouldn't be the first thing you pick up.
Yeah,
Unless
it's
if it already
definitely
had
not
the other
first thing.
chances attached to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So it's worth getting for arena if you're running mainly Seraphie, like Seraphie, and potentially if you were 10 spotting in your Stump Chump, then that node could be useful. The issue with Stump Chump is Malroth probably isn't in range of Stump Chump's heal, so probably just Seraphie.
So the most useful thing out of all of his nodes for Arena is his ability, and then probably increasing the paralyzed resist to get that at least to 50% for Arena again.
Yep. Yeah, that's absolutely what you'd want for Arena. For PvE, the increased sleep and poison is big, and then the ability and increased paralysis would be after that.
Yeah, the paralysis is because Arena it would take him to 50%, and that's very good.
Guaranteed against very weak units. That's a big thing, and just a crack range or crackle range attack that hits heavy damage and has a 50% chance of paralyze.
And he should already have like 15 more agility based on the little mini node. So he's already going to be faster.
He's going to be fast. He's going to be strong in Arena. He's got 3 move for 2 turns, which will be the 3-turn Arena. So that 3rd turn you'll only have 2, but hopefully by that time you've adjusted your positioning well enough. He's got fan breath, effectively fan breath range, because he doesn't hit all the closer squares, but he hits the farther. He's got that 6 range, 3 across.
Which is typically what you're targeting with the fan breath anyway.
That's what you're targeting, at least turn 1. That's what you're targeting. 90% of the time. Occasionally there's maps like this week where you are hitting stuff closer a lot.
Yeah, like where Great Dragon is standing right now, if there was a unit in between Great Troll and the Bodkin Fletcher, then you'd be hitting 3 units with the line one instead of, the vertical line instead of the horizontal one.
Yep.
So you have options.
He's going to be excellent in Arena. Honestly, for normal weeks, his biggest issue will just be 65 weight. That's his single sole drawback for normal weeks will be his weight, because
but you could get away with at least 165 weight units, and with a Marshall team, he could be that 165 weight unit. Maybe not on a 225 week, but maybe on a 240.
Yeah, he is excellent on.
Because what other Marshall 65 weight units do you know of that are good?
Are there any?
No, I don't think so.
Just even in general, are there any 65 weight Marshall? There's Carver, who's 60. But he's not close to as good as Malroth.
No, he's not.
So no, he's like I would say he's on the same tier. Just at least from our initial look, I'd say he's on the same tier as Dragon Lord Trueform. So if if Marshall and if neutral damage are better than Frizz damage and breath for your team, then he probably is a better bring. He's not quite as tanky, but he has spell resist and defense for the first 2 turns. So the only thing that's really hitting him hard is Marshall and breath.
I'm looking for the 65 weight Dark Lord unit that is hitting the same leadership as an S. Stark or Mortimer, but for Marshall.
Oh, it's Duel. Oh, wait, no, Duel's a demon.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. His leadership was what, 10%?
No, I'm pretty sure Duel is 15.
For a 50 weight unit?
I think so.
That's
could be wrong, but I think so.
That's insane. Yeah, I would bring Malroth if that was the case with him. Then that's perfect.
Yeah.
I would just need
So
a counter to another Dolmagus that I seen. It might have to be who's faster than Dolmagus that can hit him with like breath or magic. No one, right?
no one.
Yeah, so you'd have to really max out the agility on Dragon Lord's true form, and I don't even know if
Yeah.
that would be enough. Could
It
be.
it'll be I think it will be enough for because most commonly in arena you're going to be facing one awake.
Yeah.
Like, and I think one awake Dulmagus will be slower than max agility Dragon Lord True Form.
Is he gonna be in between banners that are important grabs, and therefore people might miss him the same way people missed Vera? Like, have you noticed we don't get too many Veras in arena, and that's not because
Yeah.
she's not an amazing unit. She technically could be broken in some ways, right? In arena,
she also suffers from the KSS syndrome.
sure,
She's
but
not good in PvE. So, but yes, there were a lot of people who pulled on Marquis right before her and
had
didn't
no
have
gems.
enough
Yeah,
left
exactly.
over for Vera and Nocturnus.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Where's
to
Dole
answer your
placed
question,
in the timeline then? Like,
yes, he I believe is right after Jessica.
oof.
He's
After,
he's
or is there anything in between that?
they're either back to back or because Jessica is one of the DQ8 units, and there's like what is it? Angelo, Jessica, and someone else. Maybe there's not. Maybe there's not a third banner. Maybe Duel is the third banner. So I don't know if it's I don't know the order the three come in, but I'm pretty sure Duel is last of those three. And then Rapthorn's after that, who's also a quite strong unit, not on the
But
same
he's not a
level
definite, pick. So
yeah. So Rapthorn, I think, has the ability just to ignore the first time he's damaged. So that he's quite strong. He's usually pretty high on the tier list, but not quite as high as Jessica or Duel. Those are both up with Nocturnus.
It's not like Nocturnus was right after Vera, but people were anticipating him, therefore not pulling on Vera after spending on Marquis. I spent 30 on Marquis, and I literally had to wait this long just to get a perfect 45 for Nocturnus. I only spent 15, but like I was prepared.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a while for people who bust, like completely break their gem stash. Is there anyone? I'm trying to think. Right after, because I don't think Rapthorn's it. It's nice that he doesn't take damage on the first hit.
Oh, I don't think he's a must pull like Jessica.
Because you could just get like, okay, how about if the first hit is like an AOE breath, or maybe just like the connect from from Metal Dragon or something with the missile. It's not that important.
Yeah, that's it's not. It's fairly reasonable to play around.
You
can usually it's something to consider, but it's not the end of the world. Duel is just gonna make some things completely trivial with that guaranteed dodge. Jessica is just a monster in PvE. She's used in so many EX fights.
Yeah, so I'm considering her a must, even though I don't know how my pulls are going to go, so I might not have enough for her. But who's after? I think it's what dies after that, or there's something in between. There has to be.
I think dies after that.
Is there anything required from Die? I think Die himself is supposedly really...
Die himself, I think, is pretty good.
Someone mentioned, like, they put him really higher in the tier list than they did at first. Like, at first it was, I think it was the altered form of Bodon. He had the, where he was transformed into, like, a dragon demon beast or something.
Yeah.
And then that form basically was above, but now it's below.
Oh yeah.
It's Dai's overtaken him in the rankings, which is interesting. Bodon's weapon, by the way, is insane. Like if you get a perfect roll on it, it's like 300 HP. So
Nice.
his rolls are the same as Liquid Metal, as Okeanos and Nocturnus and a Stark's sword. But so 79 is the max per each roll. But the base is like 55 instead of 45 or something like that. I can't remember.
Yep.
So it's just a bit higher. The attack's also a bit higher instead of like 14, 16, 15. I can't remember. It's like 25, I want to say, for the attack, and the attack rolls are better. The HP rolls haven't gone up, but the attack rolls are, I think, up to 10 per.
Yep.
So definitely probably one of the best weapons in the game. I think HP is probably the most valuable, but it's a solid pick if you don't want to have the minus 40 defense from what's it called, that one sword, the Massacre sword. So you would have a bit less attack power than that at max rolls for both for attack, but you would have 55 HP over it, and you wouldn't have minus 40 defense. I mean, you wouldn't have 55 HP over it. You'd have 25, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, it's definitely one of the best weapons in the game. Either whether you get triple HP or triple attack or a mix of HP and attack. Although usually you like the specialized, you like all of one. Be a fantastic weapon, but yeah, I haven't looked at.
I don't think Dai is
has
required, right? He has something
required.
special to him. He has something special to him. I can't remember what it was, but he's pretty high up there for, I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know what's giving him the only thing that I know that might actually place him up there is I think he has 3 elemental abilities that
He was
of 3
close
different
to
types.
Dragon Lord or higher. I can't remember on Game 8.
So he might be high ranked because of versatility and hitting hard with different elements. But I don't know what
passive, but I'll have to
I don't
look
know
into it.
what his passives are or anything like that.
I think we looked pretty far into the future. I think we could probably get. What I want is if I do manage to get Jessica, and I don't know if I will, or maybe Dole, I'd be happy with either, even though they're specialized for different things. I don't think I'd be pulling again until, I want to say, what probably with when Malroth actually returns for his bloom. I'm actually gonna drop as many gems as I can on him. I don't think I would have 90k saved up, but if I could get a 40, it's a 30k guarantee, right, on revivals generally. So, right? That's what happened recently with some of the others.
I don't know if that's standard. Like we had a Zoma revival not too long ago. I don't know if that one had the 30k.
I don't know.
Because the
old
the
revivals
special
definitely
banners-
didn't. Like the Dragon Lord revival didn't have it. But like way
the
after
Dragon
that,
Lord
after
revival
the
did have it because it was blossoming special.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
the,
that's
the
what
Dragon
Malroth's
Lord
would be.
revival.
If
Okay,
it
so
came back.
if it is a blossoming special, then they might give him the 30k. But if it's just a revival, like we had a Zoma one not too long ago, and we had a
And
Dragon
that's the
Lord
first
True
30k,
Form
right?
Wild
Like the
Hack.
second 30k won't do it. That the third 30k
Right.
is already the 90k, which is
Yeah, just
Okay.
the first 30k is guaranteed spotlight instead of any guaranteed S.
yeah.
Which
I'm
means
gonna
there is
say for
no
that because I think he's
45k
that worth
pity
it.
because you always get the 30k one.
I already have him. Obviously, I use the ticket on him, but I'm gonna try to get that guy max or close to it. I feel
Yeah.
like it's gonna have the longest stint of
Yeah, he's
viability.
definitely worth investing in. I mean, my personal pull strategy is pretty much I try and get the most, usable units. So I don't necessarily go for high awakenings. Like I could pull more
I
on
haven't
one
either,
turn,
but
but
that would be the first that
yeah,
I'm thinking about doing it for.
yeah. But just because of the nature of the game, like most of the time you don't need more than one awaken to do things.
Mm.
And the difference between having a unit and not having it at all is huge. It opens up more options when you have more units. So
The only
I
difference
probably
was when I saw the spike in agility with Great Dragon. I went from 1 awaken to 3, and I've never
yep.
seen that high of a jump. I was just like, this unit was almost terrible for me. And I'm just like, I could actually, he's in the 500s. He went up just a massive, massive amount. It was just ridiculous. And I don't know. I'm thinking about it because something like that is what I would like to see with Malroth. He would be a lot faster. He'd have more HP. His,
Yeah.
He wouldn't
I
miss,
mean,
which is
yeah,
important because
that's
of his marshal could miss, right?
yeah, and also he's at that kind of awkward agility stage
Where he's
at
faster than
3.
Zoma. He's slightly faster than Zoma. So he would need
Yep.
a few awakenings.
Yep. So yeah, you could absolutely like getting those extra awakenings on him definitely makes him way more viable PvE or arena
Yeah.
because you can much more reliably get that turn 1 kill.
Double
Before.
resists would be nice. The increased damage on his abilities for 3rd and 5th.
Yep.
Certainly, it's not a Nocturnus awakening, but I don't know. It's something. I feel like having them, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for arena, I think awakenings just in general matter a lot more in arena than PvE. They
It was interesting
mainly
because I didn't have the max awakened Dragon Lord, and I'm not getting the 2 action clear on a DQ1 Battle Road 7. I'm getting a 3 action clear instead.
Yep.
And that was all because of awakenings. I was just blown away by that. I'm just like, well, now Dragon Lord is a because I do this kind of thing so much. I'm like, suddenly Dragon Lord has an argument, at least for me, in my weird special case, right? Or whoever's copying me.
It improves your farming efficiency.
Yeah, to the point that, I might finish sooner and just like, if I'm done farming that shop, I'm going to stop just like running my phone overnight, which is probably not good for the life of the battery, So
yeah, that's definitely something. You want to figure out how many awakens, because we know max awakening does it, but what about like 4 awaken or maybe even 3 awaken with a really strong staff?
Yeah, I'm considering it.
Yeah. If you had like a triple rainbow Zam damage on.
I have a decent Zam on Hargon's staff, but I
Hargon.
really want a better one for S if they ever come out with a Zam one. That would be interesting.
Yep. Yeah, we're fairly limited on, I guess really it's just Hargon's staff. As far as S ranks go, the only thing we've got is the Dark Crystal staff.
It's not quite as much, but yeah. And I would have to get all potency rolls because the unit that I'm hitting is half resistant to Zam, and that's the only one that lives, and all the other ones die, and that one lives because it's half resistant, and that's, my goodness, that's the only thing holding me back. It's a dark skeleton or something.
Wisdom might also be because he's not wisdom capped because he's not taking any damage, so.
I gotta see. Maybe I should try the Dark Crystal staff right now and see if that does more than the Zam here. But let's rematch. I'm gonna see. But yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything for arena and projecting way out into the future of like potential. Like, what do you want to invest in for arena? If Vera ever got an awakening, maybe that or Dole in the future, that would be crazy. But yeah, I think we covered most of the bases. Rule change is going to happen in 5 weeks. So be prepared. Don't put your eggs all in one basket and just be like, okay, expecting it to pan out when the change happens. It's going to be different, to say the least. But yeah, we have this week, and then before the arena change rules, I think on week 43 we'll also, which 44 is the rule change, 43 is A and below. So stuff to prepare for. Make sure your A units are prepared. I think most people are, after all the gold we've gotten from these events and running these shops on auto, I mean the battle road on auto for the shops, we probably have a lot of the materials to max some of these A units as well. So hopefully you guys did that. Anything else to look out for, you think, Trop, before we sign off here?
Trop's gone.
I mean, sorry, Celery,
But,
my brain.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Just good luck. Play smart. You know, the biggest, always the biggest difference in Weightless Week is, you know, everything's a threat to something. So you really gotta choose, you know, pick your poison and play smart. Make sure you're not taking those brilliant hits, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, there you heard it from the man himself. Anyways, guys, this is the Pack and Celery, and thank you for tuning in to the Arena Watch podcast. See you guys next week. Sign-offs here. So if you want to join the Pack with the Pack, go ahead and subscribe down below. If you like this video, then like this video. If you have something to say, write it down in the comments down below. If you want to support the Arena Watch podcast, go ahead and share. If you want to see more Arena Watch podcast, hit that bell icon for notifications. This ain't Twitch, guys. Also, tune in the same time next week. Join Kage's gaming Discord server for all the best underground DQT conversations, and join my server for all the best DQT guides. Anyways, guys, this has been the Pack signing out. Peace.